Good afternoon, Villa fans, and welcome to a match preview of our huge second leg tie on Thursday night at Villa Park against Lille in the last 16 of the Europa League. I'm still hurting from the Man United result yesterday, really, but we have to look forward. We've got to focus on the Europa League now because I think it's our best avenue into the Champions League. I don't think we're going to get it through the league. I think we need to go out and win this tournament, and we need to go strongest players available. Certain players need to be dropped. And you'll see from the team lineup here that I put up, this is what I think Unai should be going with on Thursday. Obviously, we've got a few players that are not available, like Barkley and Allison, who are not in the squad. So I've had to sort of discount them. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this Lille game. I mean, to be honest, I normally talk a lot about the opposition, go through the form guide and things like that in previous pods. But, there's only been one game since, and Lille played at the weekend and beat Rennes away 2-1. And Olivier Giroud only came on for the last sort of 5 minutes of that game. So he was kind of rested maybe with the Villa game in mind. But they still went on and they still beat Rennes, which was a good result for them, which then pushed them up to, I believe it's 5th position in the in Ligue. So, they're coming into the game on the back of 3 points and a victory, unlike Aston Villa at Old Trafford. And I do think, we've looked at Lille in the first leg. I didn't think they were a very good team. They created a couple of sort of half chances here and there. We got lucky with our goal through Ollie Watkins, taking that header really well and then having a chance later on with a one-on-one and fluffing his lines, which really could have put the tie to bed. The first goal in this game, in the second leg, is going to be crucial. If we can get it, I think that will be enough to see off Lille. I don't think they'll have much of a resistance or much of a fight if we can go 1-0 up, especially early on. I think it would just deflate them completely. But if Lille get it, then it's going to be nervy times. It's going to be all level. The form that the players are in at the moment is not looking good. I think we need to take an early goal. And I also want to see, and as you will see from the formation, I want to see a little bit of a change of formation. We've been opened up far too many times. 7 goals conceded in the last 2 games, Chelsea and Man United. It's just not good enough. We can't play the same way without certain players like Kamara and Tielemans. So we need to adapt the formation accordingly. I think players like Buendia are just, he tries very hard, but very little kind of quality coming from him at the moment. Same could be said for Ollie Watkins. And I would personally want to see those two on the subs bench here on Thursday, coming on maybe in the last 15 minutes, when Lille are a little bit tired, some fresh legs, fresh energy. And, I'd back Watkins or Buendia to score if they come on as subs. But from the start, I just think we need to go a little bit more solid in that midfield. I think we got, obviously, McGinn coming back for this one. He probably won't play the full 90 again as he gets eased back into sort of game time. But I want to see him playing centrally. Don't want to see him out wide on the right-hand side. We've got Jadon Sancho available for this game because obviously he couldn't play against Man United. Just looking at it, Martinez in goal. I've gone with Pau Torres at left centre-back because I want us to build out from the back. And I think with Olivier Giroud leading the line for Lille, that, we can play a little bit of a higher line. He's not going to run in behind. And I think Pau kind of dealt with him quite well in that first leg. So I would go Pau Torres ahead of Mings. Konsa has to come in, even though he's a little bit out of form. There has been calls for Lindelof to come in, and he didn't put a foot wrong when he was in the team, and absolutely. And if it is Lindelof and Pau, then let's see. But I think it will be Konsa again. Right back, if Matty Cash is fit and available, which I'm hoping he will be after missing 2 games, then he'll play at right back. If not, it'll probably be Lamar Bogard before Andres Garcia, I would say. But I think Matty Cash should be fit and available to play right back. Left back, need to change it up. We need Ian Maatsen for this one. Pace and energy. I want to see him flying down that left-hand side. I've got Rodgers playing inverted as a left midfield, but he's not going to be hugging the touchline. He's very much got like a free role, basically, to come inside and link with McGinn, link with Sancho, link with Abraham. So Maatsen is your fullback who's going to bomb on that left-hand side and create the width on that side. And then CDM position, obviously no Barkley for this one, who played really well against United. So we're really left with Onana and Luiz to come back in for this one. And then maybe that's why Dougie Luiz was benched against Man United, because maybe Unai did have one eye on this game and thought, okay, well, I can get away with playing Barkley against United, but I can't play him against Lille because he's not in the squad. So Luiz will come back in, Onana alongside him. Luiz playing a little bit more sort of withdrawn, sort of quarterback role in front of the back two. Onana, I would like to see him given more license to get forward and into the box, because I don't really rate him sort of playing through the thirds, or his passing ability is horrible. So I would prefer him just to get on the end of things, get in the box. McGinn, obviously, ahead of that as the top of the triangle there, with kind of free reign to link up with Rodgers and Sancho and get beyond Tammy Abraham, perhaps, and sort of link the play. Obviously, as I mentioned, Rodgers playing from the left, but inverted. So really like a free roll, go and affect the game. We need to see a performance from Morgan Rodgers. His form has kind of fallen off. There's been talk about, personal relationship breakup, a new agent coming on board. Why would he want to have a new agent? Is he looking for a move? He recently just signed a new contract, so it will take big bucks for us to sell him. But if we don't make Champions League, then he could be one of those sacrificial sales that we have to make for PSR. So let's see how it gets on. So Rodgers for me. Sancho, Sancho hasn't been amazing. The only reason that he gets in the team is that he's just better than Bailey. Bailey's been terrible, and there is no other option. I don't really want to see Andres Garcia playing right midfield like he ended up against United. Harvey Elliott could play, but I just get the feeling that he'll just be so rusty, not match sharp, and maybe him coming off the bench for McGinn perhaps would be the better option. But I think Sancho will probably be the one. If Alisson was in the squad and available, but here he's out for a couple of weeks now, I'd even go with Alisson out wide. But that's not going to happen because he's out injured. So it's a toss-up between Sancho and Bailey, really. And if you're giving me that choice, then I'd go with Sancho just about for this one. And then up front, the big one, I'm putting Ollie Watkins on the bench for this one. I just want to see a different focal point up front, some different energy. Tammy Abraham hasn't started very many games for us. I think only the Newcastle game where he scored in the FA Cup. So I want to see Tammy Abraham getting the nod here to play up front and play at least 60, 70 minutes, and then introduce Watkins after that, and hopefully the Lille defence. And if you look at the Lille defence, not very athletic. I think it was Mandy, the captain, who's 34. I think he's about 5'11". Mbemba, ex-Newcastle defender, also about 5'11" and 32, I think he is. So they're not the most mobile defence. And I think Abraham, with his physique and his height, would be able to bully them. If we can get crosses into the box, get Maatsen out wide, get Cash supporting Sancho, maybe on some overlaps. I think that's going to be the way forward for us, is get deliveries into the box. And then you've got, hopefully, Onana crashing the box. So that's the new role that I want to see for him. That ball goes out wide to Sancho or Maatsen on the left. I want to see, McGinn getting in the box, Onana getting in the box, Luiz just holding. I want to see that kind of numbers in the box, basically. If you've got Abraham and Onana challenging for crosses, you're going to score goals, especially against this Lille team, who are not very physical at the back, as far as I can see from the first leg. They've got Haraldsson in their midfield, who's a danger man, the Icelandic. He's got a lot of energy. The right back, Thiago Santos, for me, looked the most comfortable on the ball. But he plays at right back, so how much he's going to be able to affect the game from there. Ahead of that, they had a couple of young players coming on late in the game, which looked quite bright and lively. But I'm not too sure if they're going to get sort of starts here, or whether he'll go, tried and tested in terms of experience heads for this one in this second leg. But it's going to be a game that we have to win. We've got to win this. If this goes tits up, then it's the fans are going to be on the back of the team again. We've got West Ham coming up on Sunday. I don't even want to think about West Ham. I don't want the team lineup, being thought about because of West Ham coming up on Sunday and who do we need to rest, and just get the result done in this game. Get an early goal, put the game to bed, and then you can think about making changes. Don't be playing, I'll play Digne for this because I'm going to play Maatsen on Sunday, or I'll play Buendia here and I'll, rest McGinn or something. It's just don't. Just play with the strongest team that you can. Play in this shape as well. Don't just go gung-ho. I think McGinn needs to play a little bit more of a drawn, get involved in a little bit in the play. Play those through balls, because he's the one that has that eye for a pass, and we're desperately lacking that in midfield from Onana and even Douglas Luiz, to anyone to have the ability to pick out a pass. And obviously Ross Barkley's not here for this game. Emi Buendia has been hit and miss with his passing. And yeah, I just think if we get McGinn playing further forward, centrally, closer to Rodgers, Sancho and Abraham, I think that would be where we're going to see, a positive result and a positive outcome. We have to beat Lille. We cannot go out of this tournament on Thursday. That would be an absolute disaster. And then we've got West Ham on Sunday. We've got 6 games now, next 6 games that are winnable. I'm not expecting us to win every single game of those 6, but at least maybe 4 of those to be wins. But we need to start the ball rolling now against Lille, get the confidence up for that game, go into West Ham, and then we're playing teams that are all, I think it's 11th and below in the next 6 games. So we should be able to pick up points there. Like some Nottingham Forest, I think we've got Sunderland, I think we've got, I remember who else, is it Tottenham in that run as well. But so we're playing teams that are struggling, but they also will be fighting for their lives. So West Ham on Sunday, they are going to be fighting for every single ball. And we've seen a little bit of a turnaround with West Ham. They've improved under Nuno. So we can't take that game lightly as well. But get the game won here on Thursday. Go out early, get a goal early, hold your formation, hold your shape, get crosses into the box, put for Abraham, get him out wide to Onana in the box, get McGinn on the end of things. I just want to see us being very positive. I don't want to see any of this moping around on the pitch. I'm going to be positive for this game, and I'm going to go with a 2-0 Aston Villa win is my prediction. And I'm going to go with John McGinn to score, and I'm going to go Ollie Watkins to score from the bench as well. So, guys, let me know your score predictions on this one. I'll leave it nice and short. Like, subscribe, hype it up, super chat, super thanks, all welcome as well. Join the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe. We're on the journey to 1,000, and I'll be back at you, soon with press conference news and team updates with the injuries and things like that. Hopefully, Cash is back for this game. But I think everyone else is kind of, ruled out, like Barkley and Alisson, as I mentioned. Cash is probably the only one that we're sort of 50-50 about. But do you agree with the lineup? Let me know yours in the comments. Is there something you would change? Do you want to see that 4-3-3 system change as well? Is Sancho ahead of Bailey? I think so, in everyone's eyes. Rodgers inverted. It just makes sense. It just makes sense to play it this way. You've got Maatsen playing as a left wing back, kind of just getting forward. Cash supporting Sancho, maybe on the occasional overlap getting forward as well. And then Luiz just sitting. I mean, it looks good, and it should be enough to beat Lille. Anyway, guys, like, subscribe, super chat, super thanks. I'll be back at you soon. Bye for now.